The whispering doll. The day little Anya's grandmother passed away, her family was grief-stricken. But in her will, Anya's grandmother had left a few treasured belongings for her only granddaughter. Among the things Anya received was an antique doll, with porcelain skin, dark, glossy eyes, and a hand-sewn Victorian dress. It had an unsettling beauty, but Anya's parents assured her that it was just an old doll and a keepsake from her grandmother. Anya was delighted, keeping the doll close, even giving it a name, Molly. But soon after Molly came home, strange things began happening in the house. Every night, Anya's parents would hear faint whispers coming from her room. Assuming Anya was talking to herself, they thought little of it. But one night, her mother woke up around midnight and decided to check on Anya. As she entered the room, she froze in the doorway. Anya was sound asleep, clutching her doll. But she could hear a whisper, soft and distinct, coming from somewhere in the room. It almost sounded like a lullaby, sung in a low, eerie voice. Shivers ran down her spine, and she backed out of the room, convinced it was her imagination. The next morning, she asked Anya if she'd heard anything strange, but Anya only giggled and shook her head, saying, "Molly keeps me company. She talks to me." Her parents laughed it off nervously, thinking it was just a child's imagination. But each night, the whispering grew louder, and each night, it became harder to dismiss. One evening, as Anya was playing with Molly in the living room, her father noticed something odd. He could have sworn he saw the doll's eyes move, just for a second, as if they were watching him. He told himself it was just a trick of the light, but a chill had settled over him that he couldn't shake. Finally, Anya's mother decided to do some research. She found a dusty old photograph of her grandmother as a young woman, holding the same doll. When she showed it to Anya's father, he noticed something disturbing. Anya's grandmother looked almost exactly like the doll. That night, the whispering didn't stop. It filled the whole house, as though the doll was alive, speaking in a language they couldn't understand. Anya's mother could no longer ignore it. She rushed into her daughter's room and snatched the doll from her arms. "No!" Anya screamed, trying to grab it back. Molly doesn't want to leave. Ignoring Anya's cries, her mother took the doll and locked it in the attic, hoping it would put an end to the nightmare. But that night, the whispers were louder than ever, echoing down from the attic, angry and insistent. The family spent the next morning at a nearby church, asking a priest to bless their home. When they returned, they found the attic door wide open, the lock broken, and the doll sitting in the middle of Anya's room. Anya looked up at her parents with a haunting smile. "She says she's never going away," Anya whispered. "Molly is part of the family now." To this day, no one dares move Molly again. The whispers still echo through the halls at night, as if the doll is watching, listening, guarding a secret that she will never let them forget. Would you dare to keep * the whispering doll in your house?